助けてほしいかナナに心を燃やせ限界を超えろ
Hello and welcome to More Than Headlines, your weekly anime news podcast powered by Audio Technica, made by Australians for global citizens. I'm your extremely humble host, Brendan White, aka the Salt and Pepper Senpai, and joining me in the studio, my trusted co-host and rival, the Shin to my Taro, Mrs. Courtney Smith. How the bloody hell are ya?
I am good. I actually spent our break finishing watching Great Teacher Onizuka, which was amazing. And I also watched, finally, Darling in the Franxx, which I loved. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm doing really good. It was a good couple of weeks off to rest, reset, recharge, any other good R-related word that I can't think of. Recover, resuscitate.
Resuscitate.
Yeah, I felt like I was dying at times with certain things, but I'm feeling good. We are here. It is January. It's 2025 now. Like, goddamn, what is happening? The fact that we're nearly at the midpoint of the month already is, not at all terrifying. Listeners, viewers, Sugoi Squad, and everyone else in between. But it's exciting to be back. Same old fantastic More Than Headlines energy. We've got some cool things to announce in the coming weeks, but I think this is just going to be more of what you've all come to know and love. So we've got a lot of anime to talk about today because, yes, the winter season is officially rocking and rolling. There is anime falling out of our pockets everywhere at the moment. We're spoilt with choice, but it's a good time because outside of one first episode that I've watched so far, everything else has been pretty goddamn rock solid.
Yeah, it's honestly, I've been keeping up for once in my life. Thank you. But I have things that I'm a little cold on, lukewarm, but things that I absolutely love. So I'm very excited to talk about them.
Hell yeah, but we can't talk about them just yet, Courtney, because we've got this to deal with first.
You like the news?
That nearly made me discharge all the tea I'm currently drinking. But
disgusting.
Yeah, what's our first news headline for 2025?
Okay, so it has just been announced that Crunchyroll will be launching a new manga app in the US and Canada later this year. The app will initially be available in English only, with other languages and countries to come at a later date.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel. Like, I'm excited. Part of me is excited about this, but the other part of me is terrified because Sony is out here trying to get all the Anamanga Infinity Stones at the moment. They are taking everything. They have shown no signs of slowing down. So there's a bit of hesitancy there about if this is for the greater good or it's just to line Sony's already fat pockets. But also, I didn't have any exposure to the first go around with Crunchyroll's foray into manga, but from what I've seen online, did a little bit of research, a bit of reading up, and even just remembering on the socials back in the day, that first app was riddled with issues like super long load times, really bad layouts, bad image quality on the pages themselves as well. So that kind of is a bit worrisome hearing that. You'd think they'd live and learn from that. So fingers crossed there. But outside of rectifying those issues, I think the biggest thing that's either going to make this live or die is at launch, this thing needs to be chock full of titles. If it is a very watered down weak slate, or it could be locked into region-based licensing issues, I think this thing could die pretty quick. And the scary thing with Sony is they're quick to pull the plug on things that aren't performing in their sort of tech stack. So I'm scared this could be a live and let die, just like the first go around of this app. But we'll see.
Yeah, so the original Crunchyroll manga service, I believe it launched in 2013 and then shut down in 2023. So it was about 10 years. But really the lack of titles that they had, and lack of mainstream titles especially, is mostly what killed it, because people, they really wanted to read almost like Simulpub, and it wasn't there yet. And it really seemed like it was something that they had pushed to the wayside rather than something they were working on very specifically. And instead, we have their great anime platform and it's working really well for them and it's doing well. But I'm curious to see how they translate that into manga. And I really hope that they can make it similar to the Shonen Jump and Viz manga apps, because those apps, I think it's Shonen Jump, Viz, and Manga Plus. Those three apps run so well on iPad, and you can just have the best manga reading experience for a very, very low cost. So I think taking a leaf out of those books and going in that direction is the priority. And when it comes to licensing as well, we see similar titles on Shonen Jump and Manga Plus. Like there are crossover titles on all of these apps. So I don't think they really have an excuse to not be publishing popular titles.
I worry, I guess, with recency tied into this is, you know, we've seen all the drama about Crunchyroll not pushing Dandadan too heavily because it was on another platform. I worry with some of the titles that might be pre-existing on Shonen and Viz, they might turn around and say, hey, it's us or them type of thing. Like, you've got to pony up here, otherwise your potential adapted anime is not going to get any support, or it's going to be at the back of the line as far as marketing push. So I'm scared about that. And I'm also scared, like, what Sony might end up just ultimately doing is just saying, you know what, if you can't beat them, buy them. And they'll just turn around and like buy Viz or buy Shonen or buy Manga Plus, because that way they've got a functioning app, they've got a functioning ecosystem, and they've got a really like ready to roll back catalog. So we'll see what happens as this sort of goes for 2.0 later this year.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And also our next little news headline announcement. In a tweet about the new year, Makoto Shinkai, known for Your Name and Suzume, shared that he spent 2024 working on his new film and that he's planning to announce it at some point this year.
I am so excited about this. I'm a big fan of Shinkai's films, and I'm hoping we can get some more info and a release date sooner rather than later, because when I think back about Suzume's release in 2022, it was late 2022, I believe, and we got it in Australia really shortly after. And that, I think that release timeline was really, really good. It was really quick, and I love Suzume so much, so I'm hoping we get something just as introspective.
Yeah, I'm super hyped because exactly what you said there, Courtney. It's not going to be a long time between announcement and then release. Like, there's nothing worse than you hear of something, they're announced it's coming out, and then it's like there's no release date, there's no release year, because any of that hype and hysteria that comes from that announcement can fade pretty quickly. You know, we're in a very short sort of memory sort of based society these days. So yeah, if they can go bam, and also bam, it's coming out next quarter, like hell yeah, super exciting. But I think my favorite part of this tweet, or this, you know, impending announcement, is that it's sort of saying, unlike his other films, this won't be an adaptation. His tweet stated that he is creating, in parentheses, a new world. So that's really exciting. I'm curious to know what's going to happen there, what the tone's going to be. I feel we're going to see that same blend of sort of three genres, which I absolutely love, with romance, science fiction, and fantasy being sort of the main pillars we're seeing in a lot of Shinkai's content. So that's exciting. But I also like had a bit of a reflection on this as I was sort of prepping for today's episode. And in like a 6-year window, Makoto Shinkai released Your Name, Weathering With You, and Suzume all within 6 years. Like, that is a dream run. Like, that is quite the, you know, success story there. And I hope it's going to continue with this film that maybe we might see in 2025. Worst case, early 2026.
Yeah, I think that would be really, honestly, the most realistic timeline, because I feel like Shinkai is not one to kind of tease something and then wait years. So I think you're right. I'm hoping an early 2026 release for this new film. But our last piece of news this week is a bit of a funny one. American YouTuber IShowSpeed claims that he was given the rights to stream the entirety of One Piece after speaking with the show's producer and letting them know that it's his favorite anime.
Bullshit.
Yep.
On one hand, like, I'm really happy, like, looking at it sort of big picture stuff with IShowSpeed. They said, or he said, that anime pretty much helped save his life during COVID, right? Like, he was in a really bad state, dealing with a lot of anxiety, depression, and inner demons, as I think a lot of us were dealing with at that time. Like, COVID was not an easy go around for a lot of people. But yeah, he discovered anime, fell in love with One Piece, and then the hyper fandom with him and that franchise sort of blew up from there. But then, like I said, with my not so subtle sort of shoot from the hip opinion that I think it's all phooey, I think that IShowSpeed and this alleged Toei producer, it could have just been like a low-end showrunner, or he's like, man, I love One Piece. I'd love to stream it on my channel. And they're like, yeah, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Like, I feel that's kind of the context here. And there was just some crossover because, as we know, a lot of content creators, they're not the smartest people out there, especially when it comes to some streamers, and they just take what they want to hear and then interpret it the way they want it to be, interpreted internally. And I feel that was maybe the context of this story, where they were just like, yeah, man, love your stuff. Love One Piece. I love what you're doing, and we love One Piece too. We should do something together one day. Yeah, hell yeah. And that's kind of it. And now the internet has ran with it. But that's my thoughts.
Yeah, and I think, first of all, it's interesting because we've had people like Giguk given the license to stream other anime series, which we love to see, especially because we know he's a real predominant voice in anime influencing and anime media. So that's really positive. As for the IShowSpeed news, I'm not sure how true this is, because it was just an announcement from him. And while I'm all for creators being able to stream anime and content on their channels, IShowSpeed has made some sexist comments in the past, which has had him banned from Twitch. He is back now, but he's not streaming. He's only streaming on YouTube. So I'm curious to see if any of this is actually true. And if it is, I wonder how the One Piece producers would, I guess, handle his image, because, he has been around Kai Cenat, he's worked with him, he's been around Logan Paul. He's in this real, I think, masculine circle of people who have these very, very solid and, clear ideas of how they view the world. And I'm just a little bit cautious about people like that and how they use their following. So on one hand, I'm thinking, hooray, more anime streamed. But on the other hand, I'm thinking, is this the guy that we want to give this to, really?
Yeah. Like, can you stream it but just mute your microphone? Like, broadcast it to your millions of followers and let them appreciate and fall in love with this medium, but keep your comments and your opinions to yourself in doing so. But yeah, it's very much a watch this space. And I've seen a few people come out already and throw cold water over it and say, this is never happening. This is all made up or mixing up of words in this interaction. So yeah, it could be a nothing thing, but who knows? We'll see what happens in the coming months.
And often Toei, who are the company behind producing One Piece, they often keep their cards quite close to their chest and it's very hard to get them to unclench those fists off of their IP. So I am curious. But Brendan, I want to know, what was the thing that helped you during COVID? Because for me, it was the K-pop group BTS.
It sadly was not BTS like you, that's for sure. I think the main thing that helped me during COVID was my two Frenchie babies, Winston and Bentley, because there was a lot of lockdown. There wasn't a ton of face-to-face social interaction. So having those two goofballs with me pretty well 24/7 really helped keep my energy levels at a substantial amount, and my sanity and my happiness at a good level too. So I'd say it's the boys. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to set up a little like equivalent BTS Frenchie band while I'm resting and busy right now. But yeah, I think their big buff heads and their snorts and their farts was what really saw me survive COVID as best I could.
Yeah, they make their own kind of music.
Yeah, they carry a nice tune, I gotta say.
All right, let's get on to the rapid fire news presented by Otaku Box. We have 4 stories here. First one, Ghost of Tsushima Legends is getting an anime adaptation. Spy Family Season 3 is going to be premiering in October 2025. Hatsune Miku has teased a Fortnite collaboration, and Kuromi and My Melody are getting a Netflix stop-motion anime in July.
Very excited to see Hatsune Miku arrive in Fortnite. I'm going to be copping that skin day one because I need to collect all the anime skins in Fortnite. That is the rule that I cannot sort of ignore or deny. Spy Family Season 3, hell goddamn yeah. I felt Season 2 started a little uneven, but finished super duper mega strong. And I'm excited to see where the world goes from there. But out of these 4 announcements, the Ghost of Tsushima anime adaptation has got me most hyped because Takanobu Mizuno is the man who's going to be directing this series, and he has done some of the best episodes in Star Wars Visions. And also he was the man behind Afro Samurai, which is one of the coolest, most stylized anime that I have personally seen. It's just a good time. And anytime you have an anime where Samuel L. Jackson is voicing the lead, like, let's go. So this announcement has me hyped as hell, because anything in that sort of, if we're going, ninja samurai type of vein, is an immediate like must check out for me. And then tied into a game that I absolutely adore, another checkbox. So yeah, I'm super hyped for that one.
Awesome. And I think the Kuromi and My Melody stop motion anime will be really popular thanks to Pokemon Concierge, which I think kind of paved the way for stop motion animation on Netflix.
It was fun. It's a fun little ditty. It ended. It felt like I was just getting into it and then it finished, but like it was fine. It was a good time.
It made me cry.
Oh. But outside of the rapid fire news, Mrs. Smith, I guess we should do what we always sort of do here on MTH and talk about what we've been consuming this past week, or I guess past 2 weeks if you wanted to sort of backdate it since we recorded episode 30. Let's talk about what you've been watching, what you've been reading, Courtney. Where are we starting with this?
I'm going to start with Can You Keep a Secret? Have you watched this one yet?
No, it's on my to-do list, so I'm going to be living through you today.
Okay, so this is a fun start to a cute office romance anime. In episode 1, we see the new couple discussing how they want to keep their new relationship a secret from their clearly nosy and very judgmental co-workers. I'm excited to see more of this. I kind of went through the forums on my anime list after the first episode, and it's just full of people commenting, oh, they had sex in the first episode. And I'm like, you people need to calm down.
I love that for them, though, and I love that for the viewers. Like, I do love a good slow burn and a good slow reveal, but when they do just jump right into the sack, literally or metaphorically in storytelling as well, I'm all for that too, because it's so different. It's so unexpected. So, I'll hopefully watch the first episode in the next couple of days and share my thoughts next week.
Yes, and then the other one that I really liked the first episode of was Okitsura, which is the girl that I like. I can't understand her because she speaks in Okinawan dialect. Start off really, really strong. Mm-hmm. A student moves to Okinawa, falls in love with a girl that only speaks Uchinaguchi, which is one of the Okinawan dialects, and it has this gorgeous, gorgeous art style and color palette. I love the references to Zombieland Saga and Evangelion. It's funny, it's cute. Kana's the best girl.
It was one of my surprises of the week. Like, I loved this first episode. I loved, like you said, the art style. I loved the location as well. Like, the backdrops and the scenery is so different to what we see in 90% of anime, you could say, because it does have that sort of island vibe to it. I love the quirkiness. I love the confusion and the usage of language as a plot device, which we also don't see very often in anime. But yeah, I'm all for it. I love our 3 main characters. I love love. I love that we've already got a budding love triangle developing that could potentially become a love square, a love pentagon, a love dodecahedron. Who knows? Like, there's another one like waiting in the wings trying to steal this young boy's heart as well. But it was just a super fun time and it was super cute. And yeah, I loved it. Loved it.
Yes, very, very wholesome. I'm excited to see where it goes next. Next up is Flower and Asura. Did you watch this one?
I haven't seen it yet either.
Okay.
I'm so excited for this one though.
I'll forgive you, because if it keeps going on this trajectory, this will be, I think, in the top anime of the season. So basically a girl starts going to high school and joins the broadcast club due to her love of reciting literature. There is this gorgeous, gorgeous scene in the back half of the episode where she does a recital alone on the beach, and it's storming and it's raining and it's so emotional, and it's emotional. The music's well done, the animation's well done. You can feel the passion and emotion, like even in the voice actor, the way they recite this literature. I had goosebumps. It was amazing.
I know that I'm going to absolutely love everything about this world. Like, this was on my short list as far as must watch for the season, but sadly I ran out of time the last couple of days, so I'm going to be peeking that in the next couple of days as well. And just hearing the positive words you've just sort of said about it has me even more excited, because it sounds like an anime that I'm going to love. And now knowing someone with an opinion that I trust and respect loving it already and saying that it could be one of the top anime of the season, like that's big praise. Like we've got some heavy hitters this season. So I like that you've put your metaphorical balls on the table nice and early here and just went whack. Look at this.
Conk.
Conk.
The next one is the Apothecary Diaries season 2. The first episode was wholesome, lighthearted. I loved it. It's definitely building up to that kind of mystery and drama and intrigue, especially with the two girls in the carriage. I'm excited to see where the season takes us. I'm just gonna go with the flow on this one.
I am going with that flow too. Like I copped the season 2 episode 1 this morning as I enjoyed my coffee and Vegemite toast. So it was a perfect accompaniment. Love this world, love these characters, love that this is a 24 episode season again. So it's going to be a nice slow burn with, like you said, mystery and intrigue and courtship and funny and love and laughter and everything like that. Like Jinchi and Mao Mao are goals. I love those two so much, and I'm so happy this is back on our screens a year after the first season sort of debuted. So I love this quick turnaround, and the animation, holy shit, it is gorgeous.
So pretty. Just the way when they do like a close-up of a character, and the aura around these characters is just pretty. That's it.
It's one of the best looking anime out.
Truly. But what have you been watching?
So I will mention, luckily we had some crossover, but I've also covered some different ones that you haven't as well. So I checked the first episode of Zenshu, which was on our short list, done by MAPPA. The short version, very disappointed, but still remaining optimistic. Minor spoilers, but they isekai the shit out of this thing within the first, 5-10 minutes of the episode, which I did not expect at all. I thought it was just going to sort of tread in parallel to her animation lifestyle and the story she's trying to create. But instead, she's sucked into her favorite fantasy movie of all time. And I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. I watch a lot of isekai. I watch a lot of bad isekai. And right now it feels like I wouldn't say it's bad isekai, but it feels like it's teetering. The animation was really un-Mappa to me. Like it was really mid until the back third of the episode. Like it really spun up in a big way at the back third, and you can see that's where all the time and money was invested. Like seeing Natsuko use her redraw ability in this isekai world, holy moly, it's some of the best anime as far as in a 3-minute span that I've seen this season already. Like it was gorgeous, but outside of that, I didn't really give two hoots about what was going on, and that sucks because I was excited for this, and so were you.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I am also shocked that they didn't kind of switch between her being a real life animation director and her isekai sudden throw into this magic world, because the magic world where she gets isekai'd, I just don't care. It's not very interesting. It's very generic. But seeing her working really hard and the characters that are in the real world before she eats a disgusting clam, those characters are really interesting. Like I want to know more about her, her assistant and the other people in the studio with her.
I hope we get more of that. Like I hope she's not stuck in this fantasy world for the entire season. Like I want to see her somehow transported back, or even if we just have a few episodes focusing on how she became this animation prodigy and how she became so introverted and closed off to everybody. Because I liked the realness and the rawness in those few minutes before she got isekai'd, but I wonder if it was like MAPPA are like, no, this feels too close to home. We do this to our staff all the time, so let's get into the fantasy world instead. Look over there. Look over there. So that was a bit upsetting. I also checked out the first episode of Medaka Kuroiwa is Impervious to My Charms, done by Synergy SP. I love this. This was so silly. It was so dumb. It's not an award winner by any stretch of the imagination, but I am 100% here for it. Seeing Mona go to the very extreme ecchi related lengths right off the rip to try and make Medaka swoon over her and like fall for her, because she's the queen bee of the school, of the town, of the universe. Just about like every person that she crosses paths with, they're just hard eyeing and just falling at her feet and fawning over her. So seeing her be at the top of the kingdom, but yet Medaka's trying to ignore it as best he can and constantly like pinching the bridge of his nose and like saying his little chants, because no one knows, or Mona doesn't know, but yeah, Medaka has been told that he's going to become a monk and inherit this cat-based shrine, which is also going to add to some further hijinks. But I worry it potentially could drown in fandom and ecchi overusage in this season. But right now, it struck a balance which was working for me, and it's silly, it's cringe, it's a bit cheeky, metaphorically and physically. We do see some butt cheeks, but it was a good time. I enjoyed it. I was giggling along with this one. Did you check it out or not?
Nah, I didn't watch this one. This was definitely a Brendan anime. I used to really, not that I used to really enjoy ecchi when I was younger, but I used to, I guess, be able to ignore it a bit.
Tolerate
better.
it.
yeah, tolerate it. I used to be able to just watch ecchi anime and be like, yeah, whatever. But now I tend to really avoid it. I don't know if it's just because I'm older and, I'm kind of over that kind of thing. But yeah, as soon as I saw it was ecchi, I was like, I'll leave it.
Yeah, I think one thing that I do appreciate with the ecchi, which is a weird statement to say, is that it's not in a lot of the other ones where it's like coincidental, like, I've just fallen over and this has happened. Like a lot of this is Mona intending to do these things because her goal is, to make Medaka fall for him. So she is fully aware most of the time as to what she's up to. So it does sort of lessen the cringe ever so slightly. But like I said, it's not an award winner, but like I had some fun with it. It was silly. I was laughing. It was inoffensive. The animation was pretty decent from Synergy SP, and I'm going to keep watching that one. The other one, and maybe one of my favorites of this sort of episode 1 run, I'm Getting Married to a Girl I Hate in My Class. I really, really vibe with this. Like, I love that there's not so much love in this world right now, but an awful lot of hate between our two leads. Like, they cannot stand each other. Akane and Saito, dogs and cats. Like, they are warring, they're at each other, they're chipping at each other all the time, but somehow they get forced into a marriage proposal by their very conveniently horny grandparents that have found each other late in life, and they've sort of shacked up and are making up for lost time. And so they've sort of said, hey, we want to ride off into the sunset. Saito, you're going to inherit the company, but only by marrying Akane here. So there's a bit of resistance, but straight away, like, they're married in the first episode. It's happening. Grandparents have like put the gas down on this. So then after this, now it's like Akane's to Saito, like, you can't tell anybody at school. No one's to know. So they're married. They're living together. They're sharing a bed together, all in the first episode, but hating each other. So there's this really fun dynamic where, Akane is very cat-like in her reactions, and you see her actually sort of have a bit of a humanoid cat look in a couple of scenes, which made me laugh. But they lean a lot into chibi interactions when they are having conflict and having some grief, and it just works. Like, it's really fun. So many shenanigans, so many laughs. The animation is rock solid, and like, it's sort of, I guess, the tonally similar to Medaka Kuroiwa, but I'm here for it again, Courtney. It's a good time.
I might keep an eye on this one then, because I didn't put it on my list because I thought it was going to be another one of those kind of romances that are, that forced interaction or that forced proximity style of romance, which it definitely is, but it seems to have a bit more merit to it, which I'm interested in. And the fact that they are immediately married in episode 1 shocked me, because I was like, surely they get married later on. But
I loved it because, when it came, because the grandparents were like, okay, you've got to let us know by tomorrow if you're going to get married. Otherwise, we're going to give my multi-billion-dollar yen company to this random homeless dog that I found on the street. So Saito was like, all right, I'm going to get married for the good of the company. But in their head, they're like, okay, we're going to finish this final year of school. We'll get married after that. We'll move in. And the grandparents are like, no. We've sent your marriage papers already to the birth, deaths, and marriages office. We've got you an apartment. We've got you one bed, all this stuff. Like, it was just bam, 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 bam. So I love that it was just straight in. We know the plot, we know the shenanigans and the craziness going to happen. We don't have to wait for it to all happen in like the penultimate episode. Like it's happening now, and it's a fun time.
Oh, okay. Keep me updated.
Yeah, and my last one before we talk about our main title on this episode and also future episodes, My Happy Marriage season 2 episode 1. I watched this yesterday and immediately my heart was aflutter, Courtney. It was overflowing with love and adoration. Seeing Mio and Kyoka back on my screen just feels nice. It is just that wholesome, romantic comfort food anime. And obviously there was a lot of hardship in the first season, don't get me wrong. Mio was put through the ringer in season 1, but seeing them now start to live a life together is really sweet. Really, really cute little opener. Gorgeous animation again from Kinema Citrus, which is a studio I'm not too familiar with, but whatever they're doing here is working because it is so pretty. The character models look great. The environments look great. And the sort of what we see in this first episode is Kyoka and Mio are whisked off to deal with some demons that are causing ruckus in and around his family's village. And we are then swiftly introduced to Kyoka's mum and dad. The mom is an absolute piece of shit, but Kyoka straight away, he is not standing for it because the mom is like, who is this average looking woman here? Who is this servant? Who is this woman that doesn't even deserve to be like in your atmosphere, beautiful son? And Kyoka's like, I fucking hate you. If you talk to her like that again, I will kill you. Like he is just straight up backing his girl. And it's like, yeah, so good, so good, so much love. And I'm so happy it's back.
Honestly, I was watching this first episode and it was a bit slow for me at the beginning and I was worried. I was like, this is too slow. Like I know this is a very slow burn romance, but this is way too slow. And then as soon as he takes Mio to see his family and his mom is like, you know, just not even looking at her when she talks about Mio, and the way Kyoka like immediately, like he can't even control his powers. He's so angry. That I was like, all right, I'm invested. Let's go. I want to see the dogfight of this Kudo family.
Yeah, like you can see how much Mio means to Kyoka in those scenes. Like I love that, yeah, he's causing like a thunderstorm to take place outside because of his emotions, because his mum, like she does not mince words. Like she is just digging into her over and over and over again. And I was curious to know how it was going to play out, but I was so happy that Kyoka was like, nah, not today, mama. I'm going to put you in your place and just clap back. And it was a fantastic little retort. And it's just sweet to see them two together because, yeah, it is still very awkward, very slow burn, especially at the start where they're just, you know, living day-to-day life and going out shopping and whatever else. But yeah, I think the episode finished really, really strongly.
Yes, but let's talk about Sakamoto Days, which is, I think, the #1 most anticipated anime of the winter 2025 season. Episode 1 just dropped, I believe, overnight at like 1 a.m. for us. I personally wasn't a fan of the manga, and this manga was recommended to me over and over. I read about 20 chapters and then I dropped it because it felt very villain of the week. But the anime has way surpassed my expectations. I think this story suits being an anime way more than it does being a manga. The fight scenes were insanely cool, very, very slick. The thing that really stood out to me though was the soundtrack. It uses a lot of songs with lyrics to really convey those feelings and those emotions in very, very tense times. And I loved it. It just kept me so immersed in the show, built up the tension and this sense of coolness throughout the episode. I'm obsessed.
I am so happy the first episode stuck the landing. I don't think it was a perfect 10 out of 10 episode, but what it went out, like what it set out to do, I think it executed very, very well. Like the animation, it will be potentially jarring for some people. It is very much a throwback art style compared to a lot of the things we're so used to now. Like we were just sort of gushing about My Happy Marriage and Apothecary Diaries about how it is just like peak, where this is a bit more of a not minimalistic, but it is more a subdued art style. Like the characters still look great, the universe looks great, the environments are all really good, but they do scale it back here and there, and it feels like too they even scale back the frame rate ever so slightly in some scenes, but it works because what's going on during these scenes is fantastic. Like, I like that we are walking this tightrope of family man, former greatest hitman in the world, out of shape dude that can also be hot from back in his hitman days. Also, here's some comedy. Also, here's some guys getting shot to bits. Also, here's me visualizing stabbing somebody with a pencil through the neck. Like, it just sort of does all these different things at once, but it just works. Like, yeah, it is violent. It is funny. It is heartfelt. It is action and balls to the wall. And then it's all of that. And then it's all of that not. And it just is fun. Like, I love the characters. I love the world. It felt like this was panel to pixel perfect as far as the first episode just pretty much encompasses all of chapter 1 of the manga. Yeah. And I went and reread the manga straight after watching it. And it was, ripped straight from page straight to screen. Like, the same expressions, the same attacks, the same little quips and little interactions with characters. It was just a good time. And I'm really excited for where this is going to go because I've stuck with the manga. I'm not up to date. I'm at about, I don't know, chapter 110, 120, somewhere around there. I think it's up to about 170 or so now, question mark. But I'm vibing with it. I'm a little bit more tolerant or forgiving with content compared to you, I think. But I do agree with you that it does translate better to screen than panel because you do see a lot more life on the screen as opposed to the panel. And yeah, some of the combat, like, it was cold open straight into a lot of bloodshed, like straight off the rip. Yeah, Mr. Sakamoto is killing everybody easily. And then we ease into a really fun OP, like the intro track by Vaundy just works too. And like you said, it's a good tone setter for how they use music in this world. And yeah, I'm all for it. All for it, Courtney.
I feel like the opening isn't my favorite of the season, but it really, really suits the show. And I think because of that, I can really, really forgive it because I think if they'd gone with any other style of opening, it would have been a bit jarring. But the opening they used was really, really good. I love seeing how, Shin comes and to find Sakamoto, and he sees him and he's gained weight and he's got a kid and he's got a wife and he owns this shop. And he's like, no, what the heck? You're the greatest assassin. How can you do this? And we get the flashback back to Sakamoto kind of meeting his wife for the first time, and it's so sweet. And he's like, nah, I'm done, I just want to get married and have a kid. And then they feed Shin, he eats some of his wife's food and he's like, oh, I get it now.
It's so good. And I like that we've already got an expansion to this entourage with Shin now forming part of the Sakamoto collective. And, we meet some other characters that it's almost like he's just, fostering stray animals. Like he's just bringing them all into the fold, Big Daddy Sakamoto. But yeah, it's just a good time and it's an easy watch. It's again, like it's got a vibe that I think you could recommend to most people and then watch it and enjoy it. Like, because it is fun. There's some comedy there. There's some violence. There's some really cool combat scenes. And, we're going to get more of that as this world continues to get built out because that OP, like you said, with the manga, we get a lot of villain of the week showcasing in that OP where they're like, okay, that's a bad person. That's a bad person. That person's going to sort of play a part soon. So it's exciting to know what's to come from this first episode.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about this every week with you. But you actually inspired me this year, Brendan, to pick up more manga and manhwa and just read more because I spent a lot of time hearing you talk about a lot of these series, and it not necessarily inspired me to read the same things you're reading, but find things that I was really interested in. And the first thing was, so Dr. Stone, I'd already started reading this last year because I wanted to watch the anime, but I didn't really have time. I'm up to around chapter 53 now. It's just fun. It's nice to read a chapter or two before I go to sleep. And they're really short, 19 pages long, usually very lighthearted, a lot of science stuff that I kind of roll over to Dan and I'm like, haha, look, they found tungsten. And he's like, cool. So I'm really enjoying Dr. Stone. I'm reading Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint as well, which that was a direct influence. Thank you so much. I'm only up to chapter 16, but it's already really interesting, already really fun.
It's so good. Like, I haven't read any of the Dr. Stone manga, but yeah, I love the anime. I love, like you said, it's fun, but it's also smart. And it's smart in a way that's not like trying to make the viewer feel dumb. Like it's smart in an educational perspective, and it's really unique in that regard. And yeah, I can't wait for the next season to drop. But yeah, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, ORV for the shorthand folks out there. It's so good. I'm fully up to date. I've read all of the chapters now, so I'm now painfully waiting for the fortnightly or so drops to come, because I love this world. I love these characters. I think it's better than Solo Leveling from a manhwa perspective. And it's one of my favorite things I've read in a long, long time.
I actually, I was posting about it on my stories on Instagram, and Charlie from Gateway to Anime DM'd me. She's like, oh my God, I've been a Omniscient Reader fan since the beginning. I've been telling people to read it. No one listens to me. Everyone thinks Solo Leveling is better. I'm like, no, Charlie, I'm right there with you. And Brendan is too. So maybe we'll see if we can chat to her about it, because
hell yeah,
I'm obsessed.
Hell yeah. I will happily talk about it to anybody, because the world, the characters, the combat, the genre jumping, the tonal shifts, like, oh my God. And the art style, like manhwa just are the prettiest sort of piece of reading based material out there. Like, oh my God, it's so good to look at. And the characters, like, there's some panty droppers for both of us in this world, and it is a good time. It is a good time. So check out ORV when you can, because it is so good.
And the last one I've been reading that I just picked up, Bug Ego. It's a new monthly manga. I picked it up because it sounded weird, and it only has 5 chapters at the moment. One is the mangaka, who's known for One Punch Man and Mob Psycho, and so far it's been really, really interesting and really, really good. The art style is very different, mixes up traditional and realistic styles. There are some really horrific panels as well that are quite Ito-esque, very gory, but it doesn't overdo it. It doesn't overstay its welcome. The manga is about 2 high school boys that find the existence of bugs in the world. So these are events and occurrences that happen when specific conditions are met, i.e. lucid dreams, making a bird poop by using a vending machine. Also, there's a chapter where they use poop as a surfboard, and I was cackling. 10 out of 10, no notes.
It sounds like a fun time. I'll have to add that to my list, because I'm always hunting for new stuff to consume, especially now because I'm just about up to date on everything that I'm reading, and now just painfully waiting for the weekly, fortnightly, or monthly drops. And then when it is like, oh, it's only 12 pages or 19 pages, I'm like, fuck, why do I have to wait another 4 weeks for this?
Yeah, and the chapters in Bug Ego, they're like 70 pages each. So
yes,
you'll enjoy.
Yes. One other one I'll quickly shout out. I've just picked it up over the last couple of days. Is I've started reading Centuria, which is a new manga that's only just debuted in April of last year, done by Toru Karamori, and he spent his time working on things like Chainsaw Man, and you can see a lot of influence with what he's got going on here. So he was a former assistant of Fujimoto and Tatsu, so he's got some credibility behind him. Got a very similar art style to sort of Chainsaw Man from the manga perspective, but it's focusing on this young boy named Julian, and he's on this slave ship crossing the sea. All kinds of bad shit go down. All these slaves die, and then he ends up inheriting the power and the lives of all 100 of the slaves. So he's got potentially 100 lives to live. Like, he could die 100 times before he's dead for good, but it ties into a lot of supernatural elements. It sort of ties into the time period. It's very like medieval-esque. We're seeing knights and people sailing the 7 seas, but then we do see some really nightmare-fueled beasties out there. So it's a really cool dark fantasy that I've been vibing with. I think I'm at maybe chapter 15 or so. So I'm digging through it, but it's horrific. It's heartfelt. And some of the panels animated are gory and brutal as hell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Centuria.
Yeah, I'll look forward to your updates.
Well, thank you. But yeah, that's what we've been doing. That brings us, I guess, to the official end of More Than Headlines, episode 31, the first episode for the year of 2025. How did that feel?
That was so good. I am so glad that we're back. I missed it so much. I missed you. I miss Yappin. I miss the listeners and the viewers.
I feel exactly the same way right back at you. And speaking of those fantastic listeners and viewers, I got one more surprise.
今週のレビュー。
And this review of the week comes via way of Yule GHG on Apple Podcasts. And this review comes all the way from Germany, Courtney.
Oh, wow.
We are taking over the world one episode at a time, and it's a 5-star review. So first and foremost, Yule GHG, thank you for the 5 stars.
Guten Tag.
The review is very simple. It just says, you can't do it better. 5 stars.
Love you, Yule.
We love you, Yule, too. Hopefully you had a fantastic and safe holiday season. But yeah, listeners, viewers, Sugoi Squad, if you can, chuck those reviews on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. 5-star preferably, because we hear that the machine doesn't accept anything less. You can get your reviews read here on an episode of More Than Headlines, just like the legendary Yule GHG has done here. So again, thank you, Yule, and thank you and hello to all our friends over there in Germany.
Hello.
I don't know much German, so...
Hello. They say hello.
Guten Tag? That's hello, isn't it?
Yeah, and hello.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Sorry for butchering your language, Yule. Please do not retract that 5-star review. But yeah, that brings us to the official end of episode 31 of More Than Headlines. Be sure to follow us on them socials. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe us on your podcast player of choice, but also hit us up on the video stylings as well. We don't know how much longer TikTok's going to be around for, but if you can subscribe and chuck a little like and a comment on our YouTube page at the Sakura SOC on YouTube or the socials, that would mean the world to us. Same goes with Instagram. We're going to really step up our video and just general content on IG over the coming weeks. So at the Sakura SOC on all of those social platforms. Obviously, sakurasociety.co is our primary hub. You can find everything there on our tasty website. Also, find in the show notes here, join our Discord. It is a great place to be. We are talking a lot of anime, we're talking a lot of manga, we're talking a lot of life, and we can see more often than not Courtney getting very thirsty over various people from the other manga world. So yeah, hit the link in the show notes there to join the Discord. We're building a great little community on there. It's just a good time.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just me live blogging that I'm watching anime and everyone watching me and maybe cowering in fear.
Carrying in fear, cool. Occasionally like a little pat on the head. Like, yeah. there, little guy. You're doing so well today. Here's a cookie. But also, if you'd want to win something, not a cookie, but maybe a new headset, a new microphone, some merchandise, some collectibles, you can do so over at sakurasociety.co/vote, because there's still a couple of weeks left to get your votes in for the entirely community-decided awards we run called the Hennies. It's going to take you about a minute to do. Super easy to navigate through there. Just make sure you chuck your name or social handle at the start, because if you are one of the winners, we need to contact you somehow. But if you wanted to remain anonymous and just cast a vote, you can do that too over at sakurasociety.co/vote to determine the best in anime from the year of 2024. But Courtney, anything else you want to mention before we get on out of here?
I just want to say, yes, Sakamoto is hot in his old form, but also I really, really love his current form as a shopkeeper. I think he's so cute.
Hell yeah. Dad vibes for life. Like, you know, there's hope for us all out there if we do sort of let things slip, that we know at least 1 or 2 people will find us attractive. So go us out there. But yes, listeners, viewers, Sugoi Squad, whether you're anime be subbed, dubbed, or still yet to come, enjoy yourself, and much love to all the gorgeous waifus and husbandos out there. Goodbye.
Mata ne.